Chattanooga is a city with a long history of business success. Our community has been built from an entrepreneurial spirit that saw businesses like Coca-Cola Bottling, Siskin Steel, and Provident Insurance Company take root. From those early companies, today we see Volkswagen and Amazon, plus the many, many small businesses and high-tech startups springing from Chattanooga's Gig City initiative. Keeping pace with the changes and providing business world ready graduates are just two of the reasons the UTC College of Business continues to be one of the most popular academic destinations on the campus. I'm Chuck Cantrell and this is Metro Campus, the UTC Report. Today we're taking care of business, that is, the UTC College of Business. So come back for more Metro Campus, the UTC Report. Hello and welcome back to Metro Campus, the UTC Report. I'm Chuck Cantrell. Gig Tank, elevator pitches, veterans entrepreneurship. To steal a phrase, this isn't your father's College of Business. Today's graduate from UTC's College of Business is involved in initiatives and efforts that are changing the face of business in Chattanooga and the world. My guest today is Dr. Robert Dooley. He's Dean of the UTC College of Business. Robert, thank you very much for being here. So tell me, I know you guys have a phrase that you use, and I may not get this quite right, academically prepared and business world ready. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
What does that mean to you guys? How do you exhibit that through the curriculum?
Well, I mean, in the College of Business, what we say is we want to focus on making sure our students are prepared academically, so they have the content and the skills necessary to be successful in the business world, but then also prepare them professionally for their careers. So those are additional value-added experiences, for example, mentoring and job shadowing and internship opportunities. So the way we work that into the curriculum is on the academic content side, we kind of view the College of Business as a collision point where businesses and learning come together. So we have very active advisory boards. We're very active in the business community and getting feedback from the business community in terms of what do our graduates need, what are the skills they need, where are the gaps in their learning, and then coming back and internally assessing that and adjusting the curriculum to meet those needs and qualifications. So our students are staying fresh with what they need to know in terms of business content.
So why do you think business just continues to be a popular major? I mean, with the changing world and everything, business has been around for a long time and has always been popular, and it remains one of the top choices of graduates or undergraduates and graduates across the country. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, as a business dean, obviously somewhat biased in terms of business curriculum and what a business degree, offers our students, but I do think it provides a real ROI in terms of demand for our students in the workforce. So when students looking at college options, where is this degree going to lead me? Where is it going to lead me in terms of my career? What are they going to be the opportunities? I think the business degree provides that ROI to the students, and we're making investments to ensure that our students do have those opportunities.
And a business student will be able to calculate the ROI.
Exactly, and their parents are very interested in the ROI as well,
exactly.
Since they're the ones that are often supporting the tuition and supporting their children while in school.
I tell you, we hear it all the time from parents, can my students get a job with this degree? And so you guys can absolutely say, yes, you can. Tell me about the degree programs that you offer within the College of Business.
In some ways, we look very traditional with respect to the various functional areas of business. So at the undergraduate level, accounting program for the undergraduate students, management, some subspecializations, human resource management, finance, marketing, entrepreneurship, which is somewhat unique to colleges of business that we have a degree program in that area. So we look very similar in terms of functional areas of business. At the graduate level, we have an MBA. We have an executive MBA for those that are further along in their careers and looking for a little bit of a different experience. Last January, we launched a professional MBA, which is for working professionals that don't have time to come to campus, so it's completely online and asynchronous, so they study at their own pace during an academic semester. And then we have a very successful and robust Masters of Accountancy program.
Now, I understand that there's a process in place, or you're about to change the MAC program a little bit, or to try to make the transition from undergraduate to graduate a little smoother.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So Masters of Accountancy students, for the most part, most accountant students are looking at public accounting. So the CPA is one of the credentials or certifications that they will be looking for after they graduate. And there's a credit hour requirement attached to that. I think it's 150 credit hours. And traditionally, students would take undergraduate accounting, then move into a 2 years master's program. We've been able to streamline the curriculum where students can do 4 years as an undergraduate, 1 year in the master's program, and receive the undergraduate degree and a MAC degree, a master's, and meet the 150-hour credit requirement to sit for the CPA.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So why wouldn't someone do that?
I think, and some of that's been feedback again from the accounting community. So engaging with the accounting board in terms of the curriculum and adjustments to curriculum. And I think it's going to allow us to keep our best and brightest students in Chattanooga that are in the accounting program now.
I've always thought that an entrepreneurship undergraduate program seemed almost like an oxymoron, because when you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, they'll talk about, it's risk taking, it's not taking the traditional path, it's not going along the way that everybody expects you to go, and yet getting a college degree seems to be very much a traditional path. How do you marry this concept of free spirit and risk taking, and at the same time infuse those sort of traditional business values into a degree program?
You're in some ways correct. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs would say, just go out and start your business, right? And you learn from doing. And so what we've really done with the entrepreneurship program is we teach the concepts and skills, right? So every entrepreneur would, I think, agree that you need to know basic finance. You need to know the books. You need to know accounting. You need to know something about marketing, and you need to know about marketing in a context in which typically, for example, resources are scarce. So something in entrepreneurship we call guerrilla marketing, right? How do you generate marketing and buzz without having the resources to invest in it traditionally? So yes, we teach concepts and skills, but then we move from concepts and skills to more experimentation and development. So how do you take those concepts and skills and really apply them to where you start getting a taste for what it means to be an entrepreneur? So our elevator pitch competition, for example, takes very bright students that have great business ideas and puts them, if you think Shark Tank, it's
Love that show.
It's our own campus Shark Tank, where students actually present an elevator pitch to judges and to judges in the entrepreneurship community, and then receive financial reward for doing well. And we've had a number of very successful students. Mock Fuels, for example, Josh Capellas was one of our winners of the pitch competition a few years ago. So we've had a number of successes come out of that.
I tell you, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk more about some of the special initiatives you have going on in the College of Business. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation about the UTC College of Business. Hello and welcome back to Metro Campus, the UTC Report. I'm Chuck Cantrell. We're discussing the UTC College of Business with Dean Robert Dooley. Robert, I know that you guys have been able to form a relationship with the Gig Tank here in Chattanooga. Tell me a little bit about how the UTC College of Business is partnering with the Gig Tank initiative.
Well, last year we were the inaugural school to have a faculty fellowship in the Gig Tank. So the Gig Tank, and working with CoLab, who sponsors the Gig Tank and puts that event on each year, we were looking for opportunities to engage with the university. And so there was an application process for faculty fellows to participate in the Gig Tank, to look at it from a research side. What can you do with the gig from a business research perspective that could maybe long-term be leveraged into a new venture or a business? And we are very happy. We had the first faculty fellow, Dr. Ashish Gupta, was a faculty fellow last year. As a faculty fellow, he brought some of his students along to help participate in his research initiatives. I'm pleased again to say this year that the College of Business is also involved with the faculty fellowship, and we have students working in partnership with engineering and computer science students on another faculty fellowship in the gig.
So what was the project last year? It had something to do with big data and
it had to do with big data analysis, and using big data and sensors around healthcare.
Okay.
was kind of the 25,000 level view.
Tell us what big data analysis means, because it's one of those things that you're hearing buzzed around a lot, but I'm not sure everybody, including myself, know exactly what that means.
Well, I think you'll find about as many definitions as you find individuals in terms of what does big data really mean. So let me talk about it a little bit from how we view it in the College of Business.
Sure.
So from a College of Business perspective, what we look at is how are we teaching our students to take all the data that's collected and be able to use that data for important high-level strategic decisions in the organization. So that can be from a marketing perspective, it can be from a management perspective, but it's really teaching the students how to take the data and apply it. So we're not building the data structures, we're not interested in building the code, we're not doing that. Those are very traditional computer science. It's also part of big data and big data analysis. But what we're doing is saying, okay, now we've collected this data, what do we do with it? And how do we analyze it to make a decision from it?
And I know that it's big in marketing.
It's very big in marketing.
Yeah,
yes.
but it's also big in other fields, and it makes perfect sense if you start thinking about healthcare and even emergency management. And it's just the applications are just everywhere. And I'm just not smart enough to figure it out.
I'm not sure that, but we have very, very good faculty that both in College of Business and in engineering that are working to figure it out.
I have to remind folks sometimes, humanities major.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Now I know that you've got another project going on that sounds so happy, the SMILE Fund.
Yes.
Tell me what that is.
Okay, so SMILE stands for Student Managed Investment Learning Experience.
Okay.
So we worked with the UC Foundation last year to develop a program that actually allows our students in the College of Business to manage part of the UC Foundation portfolio. And this is
which isn't too shabby because they've got a lot of money.
Yeah, and this is not hypothetical. This is real. So they're making real trades, and they're held accountable to meeting certain metrics and targets for the foundation. They're presenting to the foundation board, just as any management portfolio company that the foundation would engage to manage dollars. So we've created, with Dr. Hunter Holzhauer, finance professor, we've created internally in the College of Business basically a portfolio firm. So we have lower level research analysts, senior research analysts, and then we have a board of directors, executive officer team of students. The lower level analysts are of course looking more broadly at sectors. The senior level analysts are looking specifically within sectors about certain stocks and certain companies that maybe we would like to invest in. And then of course the executive team is making the decision about which stocks, which bonds, how are we going to adjust the portfolio. And a fabulous opportunity for the students, and they're doing a terrific job. They're hitting their targets quite well.
So did you compare how the SMILE team is doing versus the overall investment team for the endowment?
They're doing better.
Doing better?
Yes.
Oh, so that's good. Great experience for the students.
Great experience
and perhaps the foundation will start steering more money towards you.
We're very grateful to the foundation for letting us have this opportunity, and the students. It's just an amazing experience for them.
Oh, and great, networking and all kinds of things that they can put on their resume. Let me ask you about a program that you have with high school students. What is that, and why did you guys want to get into offering an experience for high school students in the business world?
We have as a matter of fact, it's going on this week, but it's something we call the Summer Business Experience, and we implemented it last year, was the inaugural class. But it really focuses on high school students in the region. So we contact all the high school counselors in this region, state of Tennessee, and then a surrounding target of Tennessee, and to have students come to campus that are rising seniors in high school. And it's really to expose them to the College of Business and what the College of Business has to offer, and also expose them to UTC. So we engage the Honors College and the library in the programming, and then it's to expose them what we think is one of the greatest cities in the country in the area is Chattanooga. So for us, a lot of it's recruiting, is to get students excited that think they might be interested in business, to be excited about UTC, so we can attract the best and the brightest.
So did you get some of those students last year?
Yes, we did.
Good,
yes.
Good.
In fact, this year I had a parent come up to me and say, this year I'm here with my other son. Last year my son came, it was great. He's enrolled at UTC for the fall, and now my younger son is here. So.
Yeah, maybe that family can just keep you going.
Exactly.
I tell you, we're going to have to take another break. When we come back, I want to talk about the Veterans Entrepreneurship Program and some other activities you guys have going on.
Thank you.
Let's take another break, but when we come back, we'll conclude our conversation about the College of Business at UTC. Hi, and welcome back to Metro Campus. I'm Chuck Cantrell. Okay, Robert, you guys do something I think is very interesting. It's called the Veterans Entrepreneurship Program.
Yes.
What exactly is that? Where did it come from? And how did you guys get into it?
Veterans Entrepreneurship Program is focused on giving opportunities to entrepreneurially minded veterans to pursue their dreams of owning or starting their own venture. So the program right now, we just admitted the 4th class at UTC. They're in an online component. They'll be on campus the last week of July for what we call boot camp, where we engage the entrepreneurship community and our outstanding faculty to give them the nuts and bolts in a very intensive format. And they'll roll into a mentoring type program after the boot camp, where they have the opportunity to engage with individuals when they have questions about their businesses or their startup or issues they might face. But the program, it's open to any vet who has been honorably discharged from the service. We give special preference to disabled veterans for the program. The application process will reopen in August for next year's class. It's been very well received. We got some really kind of interesting success stories. Our most latest microbrewer in Chattanooga, Carter Wexler Bullfrog Brewery in Red Bank, that is a product of the Veterans Entrepreneurship Program. He came to the VEP, and from that launched his dream of having a microbrewery. So it's pretty exciting.
Not UTC students.
No, these are not UTC students. It's mostly veterans from the region, but we've had veterans as far away as Washington State, Colorado, Texas, California participate in the program.
That's a great program, and it's UTC is known as being a very veteran-friendly campus. We get acknowledged for that all the time, but I think you guys in this program have been one of the main reasons we keep getting that acknowledgement. Tell me a little bit about another initiative you've got going on, the Executive Education Program.
So about 2 years ago, we engaged a market research firm to basically do an assessment of the Chattanooga business community to look at executive education gaps. So we're looking at upper level managers in organizations, high potential managers, and how do you provide them that continuing executive leadership training that they need to progress in their career. So this is non-credit, non-degree, continuing education type programming. But we engaged a market firm. We surveyed about the chamber database, basically. So we got a nice cross sections of firms, and we identified what we thought was a gap that UTC could fill. Then we brought together a group of companies and who have formed our consortium board, and we have worked with those companies to develop an executive education leadership program that we launched in January. We have 20 participants in that program. Every 6 weeks, they're in our beautiful library for an entire day in a very developed, kind of lockstep curriculum, building their leadership and strategic skills for their organization.
I tell you what, if someone is interested in any of the programs in the College of Business, what should they do? How should they contact you?
Well, they can go out to the College of Business website, so www.utc/COB. If not, that should direct you to that website. They can contact our office, 423-425-4313. Happy to talk to them and answer any questions they have. And if I don't have the answer or somebody in our office doesn't, we'll direct them to the right person.
We only have about 30 seconds, but tell me a little bit about the Business Success Center. What's the goal of that?
The Joseph F. DeCosmo Student Success Center, which we will break ground on the 2nd floor of Fletcher Hall by July 1, if everything keeps progressing through the system as it should. But that's really providing the space that we need for our students to be able to bring that collision point where there's space for businesses and our students to interact.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I could have you back for 10 more shows and we probably couldn't cover everything. That's all the time we have for this installment of Metro Campus. If you'd like more information about the College of Business at UTC or any other topic we discuss here on Metro Campus, you can always find it by visiting UTC's website at www.utc.edu. Thanks, we'll see you next month.